So it looks like she has a ton of damage. Just taking a look at this hero, I mean, there's a couple things that really stand out. One, she's built in 20% damage reduction. That's really solid. She also gets crit damage, attack, and speed. The one thing I find really cool is her basic attack. Changes the basic attack, dealing 800% attack damage to 2 random enemies. Now, if they hit a boss, it's not as good, but if it doesn't, there's an 80% chance to twine each of the targets for 3 rounds. Afterward, there's another 80% chance to twine another enemy. So the fact that you're going to be twining quite a few targets is kind of important, because when we come to Price of Insanity, when Self takes active skills or basic attacks, she'll basically counterattack for 800% damage with an 80% chance to twine that target for 2 rounds. This can happen twice. So not that 2 can be twined, she'll do the counterattack 2 different times. That's interesting. So that's even more CC. Then at the end of each round, reduces the energy of twine targets by 30, and for every 1 twine target, you'll get additional attack, which is really interesting. Her active skill, I think, is pretty nuts for a non-transcendent hero. Deals 820% attack damage to backline enemies if the target's HP is no less than 50. Additionally, bleeds the target, dealing 600% damage for 3 rounds. The big one here, if the target's HP is essentially less than 50%, deals extra 2400% attack damage with a 100% chance to twine the target. That is insane, because that can hit up to like 4 targets. Then, after all that happens, anybody who is twined is going to take an additional 20% of their max HP, capped at 2000%. So those numbers sound really big, and I want to remind you guys, because it's like the main thing we're comparing her to is this hero here. She doesn't come with any damage reduction, however, she does come with a ton of block. Her counterattacks deal 400%, which end up being what? 600% here, not bad. And then her active skill does 1000 damage. I mean, really, it's just the counterattack, though. This can happen a ton of times, so it can stack up, which does end up being quite a bit of damage here. So it can deal up to 4% of the target's max HP, up to 1500% of max. The downside is this hero, of course, restores HP equal to 25% of the damage dealt, but when we come over to this hero, she has no self-sustain. So, like, literally, I think the way you might have to run her is with Balanced Strike, which is a little iffy. The only thing we're banking on is this ultimate active here being a lot of damage, but again, it only starts happening once they're below 50% HP. When they're above it, they're only getting hit with this, and she's not twining. So her ultimate, her big active skill is best below 50%, isn't necessarily the best. And then when we come over and take a look at her tenants, they're not horrible, but they're not like amazing. So if we take a look at Betty here, Holmes Young, that's actually a pretty solid one. That's just a good overall hero to have in the early game. Not bad at all. Good CC, can clear Sealand 20. The other option is Annabelle. Annabelle isn't really a tenant for anybody we care about too much. Maybe PDE or Jara potentially down the road. Azrael is a solid one, because of course eventually you'd probably use him for like a Doom Terminator Vulcan or something if you go that route. Ankirimaru is absolutely amazing because he fits right into the Lord of Fear Aspen scheme. And then the last one over here, not much. You got Degen, you got Asmodel. Not super impressive. I mean, I think the biggest one is probably the fact that she's not a tenant for anybody besides Degen. I don't like that. So today we're going to have to test out and see how she is. The only upside of this, like literally the only upside, is one of her tenants in Ankirimaru is actually useful here. And like I said, she's only a tenant slot 2 for Degen, so that's not super impressive. I was really hoping she'd be for like another Transcendence hero as well, but it looks like she's just getting one for now. So what do you guys think? Mid hero, good hero? Again, we're gonna have to test her out and see how she goes, and we're gonna have to build this hero. So what do you guys think about that? Fresh Baked Banana in chat. First off, love your name. But the fact that he said technically she can be your first E5 hero as well as potentially your first Transcendence hero, depending on how the hero turns out next month. Now, that would be interesting because so far we don't have any other heroes that do very well in the early game. Isla Mach is horrible. G-Star's not great. Natalie is not great. Elena's not great. Regular Vulcan is not really, like, there's none of these that are like really any good. The one I would say is actually good is regular Aspen. However, building a dark hero as your first E5, very difficult to do. Yeah, first Transcendence hero. That could be interesting. So let's get the build going. But I think I already prepared everything I needed for her. Got those copies. We got food there. We got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think I have to regress a hero in order to make like actual leveling up food. But I think beyond that. Wait, what just happened? Did it not make it? Oh, it did. That was weird. Let's get rid of good old Sir Marax. We don't need you. But oh good. Bag space. What we need is the food from you in order to make some progression here, sir. So we progress that. We now can come over to the Shadow Hero and get her all buffed up. Because I'm intrigued to see what she can do. Now, I still like the idea that we need to hold off our final judgment overall on Betty for another month. Because what we really need to be able to see is, even if she's not quite as good as Eloise as a first E5, if she's like a bomb, like an amazing good first Transcendence hero, it might be worthwhile investing into this hero. Might be. Big might be. Like I said, I think we're gonna have to stick with Balanced Strike on her. We're gonna have to get a stone built on her, which, what do you guys think we should build for a stone? What am I converting for? Oh my god. Probably don't need speed. Maybe just a pure like attack, or I don't know. I feel like just pure attack is probably the best because everything is so based on her attack stat. Heal damage. No, because they're already big damage numbers. Armor break? Not horrible if we don't find like attack. Ooh, holy damage. So many good options here. I really just want attack though, to be honest. There we go. That just solves our problem completely. Now, the one downside of this account is we basically just have a single golden crown. Let's see what our gear options are here as well. Let's just grab gear off of everybody. Okay, so you are a mage, so let's do a conversion on the set too, and then we'll be in a good spot, I think. Conversion, class suit, warrior. Go to mage, convert, resonant suit. Can we do that? No, we're actually short on gems because of what I used earlier. No. We can figure something out here. We can figure something out. We need 300 gems. I'm sure there's something I can do. I don't know if I've ever set this up. There we go. We got the gems we needed. I was like, I'm sure there's gems chilling here somewhere. Let's just get her a resonant suit gear because I feel like that's a valid thing, right? For most first heroes that you do testing with. Please complete previous conversion. What happened? Did I break the game? Oh well, we'll just leave it at that for right now. We'll get her leveled up. I'm sure we got like an awakening we can do. I do want to go with just a regular crown to start. We can upgrade it later. And then we do need to get her void. I'm just going to bring her void 1 and we'll see what she can do. And then we'll slow upgrade her past that. I think that's a good way to do it. Crown, solid. Guess we could go for like more offensive, but awakening. Should we do it just one random awakening too? Probably. Let's do it. We got a free one here? Yeah, we do. Sweet. Perfect. Let's go. It's going to be an A tier. Right here. A tier. Calling it. A tier. Yes, E tier. I think you might have misunderstood when I said E tier. E tier does sound a lot like A tier. I know it does, but don't get confused. Got some resources, and that's it. So we'll have to see how she works.